YouTube, what is good? I hope you are all doing so well and having an absolutely terrific day. So, a lot of people reached out to me on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, etc., all these social media platforms. And I don't know if you guys may have known or not, but when I posted on TikTok, I went to New York and I went to Philadelphia for 2.5 weeks. And New York was for my dad's company, and Philadelphia was for my 18th birthday. And the reason why I love Philadelphia, Philly sports, is because of the Rocky movies, so I gotta go on a Rocky tour. And so, a lot of people reach out to me and they're like, because I posted a video about it on TikTok, but people reached out to me and they're basically saying, Cooper, could you explain, like, the Rocky movies, the tour, like, the locations you went to, because some people just didn't get it. So, if you're interested in Rocky, I would definitely watch. If you're not interested in Rocky, maybe it's not the video for you. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, as you see, I have my folder right here. So, oh, my bad. We have all the photos on the top from the tour, and then right below we have all the videos. So, we're going to start the photos. So, yep, obviously right here, nothing pretty much to, not much to say, because it's just me at the top of the Rocky steps, and it's always been on my bucket list. Because, like I said, Rocky's the reason why I love Philly. And so, that was really exciting. And that's just me with the thumbs up. And then, yep, me with the Rocky statue. Alright, so, in this photo, this is little Mary Ann's house from Rocky Balboa 2006. And that's basically all I have to say. You never really... I saw Rocky Balboa 2006 a long time ago. It wasn't my favorite movie, but it wasn't horrible. But yeah, most of these Rocky locations are actually, so they're in a neighborhood called Kensington, and Kensington's like the poorest area in Philly, and so that's like where all these were. As you said, the house is pretty like roughened up, and it's really old. But yeah, this is little Marie's house, and she never, because Rocky loved Adrian, and then when Adrian died, like Marie was there, but Rocky and Marie never really loved each other. Like, they loved who they were, but without any, like, sexual feeling. Like, they're like a boy best friend and a girl best friend. And so, a lot to do with that house if you watch Rocky Balboa 2006. And then here's another photo that I just made facing the other way at the Rocky steps. I mean, that was just so awesome to see. Aha. So, ever since, I've always wanted to go to Philly, right? And I told everyone, I said, if we're in Philly, we have to get a cheesesteak. That is on the must. We have to get a cheesesteak. And so we stopped at this place called Pat's, and Pat's is from the Rocky movies. You don't see it that much. Pat's isn't featured in the Rocky movies that much. You only see it for maybe like a minute, and then you just never see it again through the whole series. So we went to Pat's Steaks. Super good. I absolutely loved it. And it looks delicious. It looks delicious in that photo. Just look at it. The cheesesteak itself was delicious. And hopefully I can go back to Philly one day. Yeah, so right here, this photo. I got a lot of questions about this photo for those of you who don't watch the Rocky movies. So people are like, what is that? So this is a really big part of the Rocky movies. So this building right here is Mighty Mick's gym. And for those of you who have seen the Rocky movies, Mickey is Rocky's boxing trainer from Rocky 1 to Rocky 3 before he dies. And so, Mickey has his own boxing gym. Rocky's, going there to prepare for fights. And the interesting thing about all these locations is that, when you're watching the movies, so what they did was, it's so interesting because all these locations for the Rocky movies, like the outside, like what you see right here, it was all filmed in Philadelphia. Like this outside, that's in Philadelphia. But when you watch the actual movie of Rocky going inside of Mighty Mick's gym, that's a whole different gym inside. So every time, so the outside is in Philadelphia, but the inside filming is actually in Los Angeles. So it is actually a real gym, the inside is, but it's in Los Angeles. That's like, I always thought that was kind of crazy, because apparently it said like 90% of the Rocky movies from like I believe it was like Rocky 1 and Rocky 2, the interior of it is actually filmed in Los Angeles. So that was really crazy. And then for how much I also just knew about Rocky in the first place, because I'm a huge Rocky fan, it was really just crazy to me just how much like I learned from it and how much I didn't know. So it was insane. So if you guys have seen, maybe not the Rocky movies, but if you've even seen the Creed movies, so these are actually from the Creed movies and Rocky Balboa 2006. So we have Paulie's grave on the left, and then we have Adrian's grave on the right. And they were both shown in the Creed movies, and they were shown in Rocky Balboa 2006. And yeah, so I got to visit that. That was pretty cool. And then speaking of that, so check this out. So the guy to my right, his name is Mike. That's his real name. And so it's really cool. Shout out to you, Mike, by the way, if you're watching this and you come across this video. But basically, Mike, he has a great. He was the one doing the tours, and he lives just outside of Philly. And he was just telling me, like, yeah, when I was a kid, I just wanted to be Rocky. And apparently, he wrote this in his school like papers for like an essay or something. It was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And that can be a difficult question for all of us, But he said, I want to be Rocky. And the teacher's like, the hell? Like a box? Like you want to be a boxer? He goes, no, I want to be Rocky. And they're like, what the hell does that mean? If you don't want to be Rocky the boxer, like, what the hell? And so he was just kind of telling me like his background of it. And it was really interesting to me because it took him a while. It took him probably 30 years to get to this point, like where he could become Rocky. So what he does is he dresses up as Rocky, kind of like that, and he goes around giving people these tours. And his impersonations of Rocky Balboa, and he did a great job impersonating Apollo Creed, Clubber Lang. Like he did such an amazing job impersonating all these characters from the series, and it was so unbelievable. He told me a lot of his background, childhood. That was really inspiring. And he's just a big believer. He's just such a great guy. And apparently he met Sylvester Stallone, the actor of Rocky, like a few times. And he's also met Carl Weathers. And then apparently he went to Sylvester Stallone's 60th birthday party at the Victor Cafe in Philadelphia. And the Victor Cafe, so the Victor Cafe is the real name of the restaurant, but from the Creed movies, it's called Adrian's restaurant. So that's the Victor Cafe. And he went there for Sylvester Stallone's 60th birthday, sat right next to him, just had a talk with him. I'm like, that is just so awesome. So, and he said Sylvester Stallone's just such an amazing guy. And so I found that really cool because I've always looked up to Sylvester Stallone. So there's that saying, don't meet your influencers. And so just to hear that, it really made me happy. So those were basically the photos. Let's go to the videos now. So we got this first
He's
one.
bouncing the ball, coming
So
up here. He taps on the window of the pet shop
Really,
right there,
it's
and then he crosses over. We hear the elevated
remember, I
train.
was right there with Mighty Mix Gym, but there's a lot more on this street. So obviously, we got Mighty Mix Gym right here, and then if we go right here, so that where all that trash is right there. For those of you who have seen the Rocky movies, that was Adrian's pet shop. That was Adrian's pet shop. Apparently, he did say that used to be like an actual store, like where Adrian's pet shop was filmed, like in that trash area, and then they got tore down. So that's kind of sad. And then right here, like this whole street, like where that Subaru is, just like this whole street right here. If you guys have seen Rocky 5, this is where Rocky fights Tommy Gunn. So that's pretty cool. So yeah,
Is over. We hear the elevated train.
Cool, nice little video.
This was the
This
exterior.
is just downtown.
Interior, of course, was filmed.
This video, and then actually right here on the left, if I go back a bit, that if you guys have seen Rocky 3, great movie. This is the hotel. This was the hotel from Rocky 3. So in the first training scene from Rocky 3, this is where Rocky trains. So that was really cool. I think they did say the inside was different. The inside was filmed in Los Angeles, but I mean, it was still really cool to see.
Interior, of course,
So, yeah,
was filmed
that is from Rocky 3, where Rocky trains.
out in Los Angeles.
What's that?
Clubber
Did
Lang
they have a
for
Rocky
the first
musical?
time.
Yes, it just finished 2 days ago. Rocky the Musical played in Germany for 6 years, played on Broadway for 6 months back in 16, and it finally made its way here to Philadelphia for a month. And it did very, very well, sold out shows, and it's a great, great Broadway play. Far better than you would expect it to be.
Did you see it?
I saw it in New York.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's the funny thing. I actually didn't know there's a Rocky the Musical. I've never heard of it. So that was really interesting. I wonder how that worked.
Bridge. Now, this bridge where it has flyers on it.
Okay, so he doesn't talk a lot on this. So I don't know if you guys can see it. Maybe if I back up a bit, or okay, it's maybe like right there. So right there it says Flyers, right? I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but you know all the Philly sports teams. NFL's the Eagles, NBA's the Sixers, MLB's the Phillies, and NHL's the Flyers. And so Philly is really passionate about their sports. And so right there it says Flyers. And apparently, I never even noticed this until I rewatched it like a couple of days ago. So when you watch Rocky 1, and I believe it's Rocky 1, instead of Flyers right there, it's like when Rocky's like running through here, because Rocky runs right through here in Rocky 1 for like training, that says Eagles. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So instead of Flyers right there, that says Eagles. So I always thought that was kind of interesting how I brought it up. And then apparently Adonis Creed from Creed 1 runs through right here as well. But I do believe he did say it said Flyers.
The basement window.
And then right
Adrian
here,
would have had the...
This is Rocky Balboa's apartment. So once, like I said, the inside was filmed in Los Angeles, but this is the outside in Philadelphia. Apparently someone lives there now. I can't remember who it is. But if you just look around, like, it's like really like dumpy. Because this, like, if you guys have seen Rocky, it's not in a nice location like from the movies. Kensington was a really poor area. Like, there was one scene from Rocky, and we went there. I didn't get a photo of it because it was just so bad. And it's known as Heroin Avenue now. So I was like, oh man, that made me sad. And the funny thing is, we couldn't get out of the car. So when we were in Kensington, Philadelphia, like where all this stuff is, we couldn't get out of the car because there was like people injecting like heroin and cocaine in their heads, and it was just nasty. And I didn't film them, obviously, but right to the left of Rocky's apartment, if you were to go like a little more over to the left, there's like a bunch of drug dealers. And I'm 18 years old. They're probably like a year or two older than me, so that was crazy. But I will play this.
The basement window. Adrian would have had the present on the steps, and Butkus would have been hidden right around the
That
street.
was Rocky's apartment, and it's just really cool to see.
This railing with the half circles underneath, this is the same exact railing. They never changed that either. Rocky hurdles over that, lands here, throws some punches, and then he runs that way through the street. Now this street in front of us, this was where he plays stickball with the...
Yeah, so coming back to here, because I just wanted you guys to get a good listen to the video. So this is Rocky's apartment from Rocky 2. So he moves...
The basement window.
So he was in this
Adrian would on the steps, and Butkus would...
all of Rocky 1. And then he was in this apartment for a little bit in Rocky 2.
This railing with the half circles underneath, this is the...
I think one of the only locations in Rocky that they filmed inside that was in Philadelphia, because all the interior stuff was in LA, but one of the only places that they did film inside was in this house. So it's actually interesting. So if you guys have seen Rocky 2, so when they enter this house, the interior is all filmed in LA, but then it's interesting because this house has a basement in it, and so there's a scene in Rocky 2 in this house where Rocky's like in the basement and he's hitting his punching bag, and that is actually in this house. So that is actually in Rocky's house where he's hitting the punching bag. That is in this house. It's like a basement, or I'm not sure if it's a basement. I can't remember if he said that or not, but that is actually in this house. But then most of this house is actually filmed in LA, so that was pretty interesting to see.
Rocky runs towards
And then
us.
right here,
You'll line
this is, if you guys have seen Rocky
towards
2,
us.
like a
You'll line it
spaceship.
up with that big bridge in the background.
Talk.
In Rocky 2, to my left, Right about here, the kids are skipping rocks in the water. Rocky runs right in through here with the kids. He goes, yo, come on, come on.
Yeah. That's how he starts gathering all these.
Exactly right. And then he runs down Chestnut Street where all the American flags were hanging through Center City.
So you guys kind of heard what he said. Like, this is just like where Rocky runs with all the kids, like in his training scene when he's about to fight Apollo Creed in Rocky 2.
Oh yeah.
And then this was also
Rocky and the
And then this was also filmed in Kensington, Philadelphia, the neighborhood. This was a real gym apparently. It's called Front Street Gym. It's in the Creed movies and the Rocky movies, I believe. And this is another one of the only locations that was filmed in Philadelphia for the inside. So this is actually still a real gym inside, but it's like all dirty and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Rocky and Adonis would have stood right on the other side of that green poster. I know it's very difficult to see with the glare and I don't know, I guess.
So there's a real gym in there, huh?
Yeah, exactly right. A real gym to this day. It's an actual gym.
So you heard what he said. And here's just me taking you down the Rocky steps. It was so cool when you got up there. So fun to run up. And then there's like those footprints that said Rocky. I was like, oh yeah, we gotta step on those. And there I am.
For me, it has not changed at all. This is St. Thomas Aquinas Church.
Okay, I don't know if he explained enough in that video. I'm gonna doubt he did. So before Rocky, it was after the training scene, and before Rocky goes to fight Apollo Creed. Rocky's father, Father Cameron, he's a pastor. No, he's a priest, my bad. And so basically, before Rocky's fight with Apollo, he just drives up to Father Cameron. He's already late to his fight, and his dad is saying a prayer with him. And he's like right out that window. So yeah, a lot of people actually didn't know that apparently from the other Rocky tours that he did. So he was really surprised when I got that. It just showed that I am
For
a big
me,
Rocky fan.
it has not changed.
And there's one of me running up the steps. Yeah, look at me go. And that was so fun. So fun. I want to live in Philadelphia when I grow up. I just loved it so much. So yeah, that's basically all of the videos and photos. Let me know if you guys want to see other, well, my bad. Let me know if you guys want to see, like what do you guys want to see on my YouTube channel? Like, obviously I'm a sports creator, but I just thought this would be really cool to make, to just help you guys understand the locations and the meaning behind Rocky. And apparently, I'm just going to tell you a fun fact really quick. Apparently, like, they only had 30 days. They only had 30 days to film Rocky 1, and it won 10 Novel Academy Awards. Like, that's crazy. And they didn't have the money to do it. So they would just have to film, and then they would have to get in a van, go and get away from the police, because it's public property. They couldn't buy that property because they didn't have money. So, yeah, it's nuts how it was filmed. So, every time I watch Rocky 1, when it goes to the next scene, it's just crazy for me to think that they had to, all the cast members had to get in a van and find somewhere else to film because they didn't have the money for it. And since it was public property, the police were after them. So, it was absolutely crazy. And now it's like one of the best movies of all time. And they only had a month to film it and to edit it and all of that. They only had 1 month to make the whole movie, and it won 10 Novel Academy Awards. That's crazy. So I did not know that. But thank you guys so much for all the support. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out. Have a great day.